Hi, my name is Donna from Evoker and welcome to the next video in our character set. So now that we've got the base hair done and the ponytail tie, we're going to start on the actual ponytail itself. So creating a plane, we're just going to move it and rotate it into position so it's about the middle of the hair tie, and then we'll start extruding the shape. So just adjusting the size of the plane at the moment, and we'll convert it to an editable poly, and then we'll just extrude the edges to create the silhouette of the actual ponytail. So not making it too long, just keeping it reasonably short, and then just going back in and adjusting some of the vertices. And again, just like we did with the scalp, we're going to tilt it in on one side. And then just cloning them, so holding shift and rotating and moving and scaling it in. Into position. And then just adjusting the vertices again to shape the ponytail. And continuing to clone. So again, just scaling and rotating into position to give the basic form of the ponytail. So I'm just adjusting this in the back viewport now. And again, just extruding, cloning the edge again, and rotating and scaling into position. Delete the ones that I don't want and move on to the next side. So I think I'm beginning to see the shape that I want. So I'll attach them all together so we can start to solidify the shape. So using weld to weld the vertices together. So just continuing around the edges that we've created, welding some of them together, and remembering to bridge some areas too to create variations in the height of the mesh like we did with the scalp, and around the base mesh of the hair. So I'm just going to leave the ends of the strips unwelded. So this will be because so we can create a feathered or an alpha texture on the ends. So just continuing to weld around these edges here. Turning on wireframe so I can see what was going on, and then just moving things around. So now I'm done there. I'm going to start to bridge some of the areas together. Doesn't seem to want to bridge properly, so I'm going to just use the extrude. And then try to bridge. There we go. And then we'll just adjust these verts to get the shape that I want, dipping some in and pulling some out. Just seeing what it would look like if I welded those together, so I think I might just actually bridge them or extrude down and join them this way. And weld that together. So it can be a bit of an experiment when we create a shape. If it's something that we're not quite sure what it would look like, we give it a go. If it doesn't work, you can always undo it. Just continuing to shape the ponytail. Okay, so now that we've got that the way I want it to look, I'm going to clone this polygon, so just selecting the polygon and extruding out and clone to element this time, not object, so it's all part of the same mesh. And then I'm just going to move these in to create the side of the polygon and then just extrude up. So matching the edge loops of the main mesh that we've done of the ponytail, then just tweaking the verts to bring it in and shape the side of that ponytail. So just making sure I check out the shape from multiple angles to make sure it's looking good from all angles. Then continuing to shape. And I'll bridge these two areas together and continue to shape. So I'm just constrained to edge at the moment, so I can move these vertices without moving the shape that I've created. Then continue to bridge and extrude that edge down. So I'm just going to have the ponytail flick out to the side here. I'll do the same for the other side. Okay, now I'm happy with this shape. I'm just going to rename the main mesh so I can find it in the Outlook and turn off the head and the hair so I can get to the underside of the ponytail. And I'll select the strip here and I'm going to clone it too. So just using scale and holding shift, I will clone to object. Okay. So just selecting that and moving it down into the position, so it's going to be the base of the ponytail. So just from behind, and then I'm just going to shape it in the side viewport so I can get the look that I want. So just making sure it falls nicely from the tie. Now we'll need to flip the normals so that it is visible from the underside. So just selecting the element and then going to flip. And then just like before, we're going to clone this this strip just once we're happy with the shape to create the underside of the ponytail. So there we go, start to clone out the rest of the shape. Since this is the underside, we don't need to be too detailed, so we can get away with being less fussy, but we can still, doesn't mean we couldn't make it nice. Okay, so just tweaking these shapes. And we'll clone it again. And then we'll attach them to the main shape and start to weld so we can close the shape off. Okay, so just welding to the closest one. To solidify the form, remembering to leave the ends unwelded at the moment. Okay, just having a look at the overall form, just going to tweak some of these edges. And then we'll start to fill in some of the holes as well again. So just extruding to fill in this hole. So just bringing on wireframe so I can see what I'm doing in here. And there's a vert that's not welded, so we'll just weld that. Just a few more tweaks, I think. We're getting close to looking the way we want it. So just bring that down so we can fill in this hole. Okay, bring back the hair tie so I can see where it's going into the tie. And bridging the gap. So there we go, it's a solid mesh around the outside. We can just tweak the shape a little bit more now. Okay, so I'm just going to cut some edges in here just to create the variation like we did with the scalp. So bring some in and pushing some out. So we have raised and lowered areas. And just to add to the overall shape of the ponytail. Okay, just again adding another edge. And pulling some of these back in. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Might just have to pay a little bit more attention to the ends here. So I'm just going to extrude this one here and create a wedge. So just rolling the two verts to the existing wedge shape there. So this will create the edge. So when we fill in the bottom down here, we're actually going to create kind of a wedge shape. And then just adjusting some of these so that they'll flick out. Because these will be the ends of our hair. Again, just forming that wedge. So just extruding and making it a triangle. So this time we'll extrude the bottom and we'll weld it up to the top so it's finishing off that wedge shape. So we'll do that for all of the edges around here on the ends. So just extruding out those and then welding the verts to the bottom to create the triangle, and then extruding up the base from the base one and then welding the vertices back up to the top. To continue that all the way around. And just bridging that one. Just having a look and adding, extruding where I need to, deleting where I want as well. So just to create the ends and the look that I'm looking for. So just extruding and adding and removing where needed, but always ending in that wedge shape. So just bringing some of these verts down, and then finishing off the shape. Okay, so we'll grab the inside border here, and using scale I'll extrude into the center and bring it down a little bit. So again, this doesn't need to be perfect because it won't be seen all that much, but we still want to be as neat as we can be. So we'll simplify some of the geometry where we can. And extrude again. So just adjust the vertices that we just created. So this is just to create depth in our model. I just need to fix this overlapping here. I'm not quite sure what's happened there, so we'll delete that and reform it. So we'll delete, extrude here, and delete that face there. There we go. And reform that wedge. Okay. Alright, so there seems to be a bit of a problem with this one as well, so I'll fix that up just by deleting that face and reforming the wedge. There we go. So So just closing off the shapes now. Again, just deleting these edges and simplifying the geometry, so welding them together. And just bringing this forward a little bit more. Okay, now that's done, I'll collapse this edge so we can seal off the ponytail and adjust some of the birds again. Once I'm happy with that, I'll select these polygons and extrude. But we'll change it to extrude by polygon. Okay, so we don't want to extrude too much, and then we can go in and we'll just extrude a little bit more on this one. There we go. And then we'll just weld some of these down. So we're creating kind of spikes. So there we go, it just looks like there's more ends and more depth to the hair. Okay, so it won't be seen all that much, so we don't need to pay too much attention to it. Okay, there we go. And there's our ponytail done. Just reset the smoothing groups before I go. Excellent, so we'll continue on in the next video.